choose from a spice range from 0 to 5. 5 is like really spicy, so I would choose a 2.
What are they like?
It's Thai food.
But the rest of it.
It's so good. Thai food's so
It's
good.
a very selective talent.
I love eating like Asian. Like
I'll eat a good like broccoli chicken, but that's it.
It's okay.
I only like going out to dinner if I'm going to like an Asian place, only because I can make American slim chickens.
Yeah.
The packet, the 105 packet first before you do it.
I love Japanese food.
No, because you need it.
I like turn the packet.
Oh,
yeah.
In the question.
Wonton soup. I love wonton soup.
That's like the only soup I'll eat.
Yes. Miso soup is also good, but that's Japanese soup. Sake bon and
Yeah, it's like a 105 page.
I like Italian, but like I don't like going out because I grew up in Italian house, so I can make that at home. So
I did this.
We're not even like, no, we're from Germany. We're like offshore, but we're just German.
yeah,
But it's not like there's these big cultural like shopping.
nice.
It's just like, yeah, I am offshore.
Yeah.
Do I do food? Ooh, beef stroganoff. Have you ever had it? I'm gonna make some beef stroganoff for dinner next year.
All right, let's do it.
Like a big old pot of beef stroganoff.
I'm just gonna sit in second period. It's food. It's culture day.
What time is it?
We should do that.
Fun. There's a lot of people here. Although probably majority of them Italian.
Most of the people in this school is Italian.
Yeah, it's like a good 92%.
98.2% of us are Italian.
Usually not together.
Not me.
I met some rich Italian people in my neighborhood. Just because you're rich, but I'm not gonna, because that's rude.
Yeah. I live in a, I mean, I live in a house. It's not big, it's not small. It's just right.
And you know those like
I like
nice big coffee rolls?
Yeah. And my mom
Yeah.
lives in a
My dad bought one
little
Tuesday
one
and
house
they
until she's ready for that.
yeah.
And then your dad?
No.
Okay.
And then we had to move out. And we moved back here. So like on the other side of our house, right near the toy shop where it is. On Hillsbury. It's nice there, but it's sure now. It doesn't bug me that much. It's like,
Has it been any better?
yeah.
What's his name?
And I froze the whole onion, but I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
That's why I read you freeze
How old is he?
Pork 50.
I don't think I've heard about a girl.
I have like, then there's my dad's girlfriend's son. His name is Perry. He's rare. Yeah, his name is Perry. But like, not biologically.
Yeah.
But like,
He's still part of it.
yeah, he's very fresh.
Yeah, that's where I was going. My sister graduating tonight. I don't get it yet.
Oh, I didn't know that. Congrats.
That's an honor.
Alright.
She's the top 10, so she'll be up there.
That's awesome.
Well, I met you last year. Maybe.
I don't know what I'm definitely not top 10.
That's sweet. It's so good. I think I drank it. I bet you drank it.
Ew, yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying?
That was weird.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, I don't think I'm top 10. I'm definitely not top 10.
Hey, buddy.
It doesn't say on the radio.
Oh, the transcript.
Did it? Oh. Speaking of which.
How did you test? Like, US?
US, I got a 91. Yeah. I'm actually shocked. I'm like really shocked. And then I got a 78 on algebra too. Which I wasn't.
Josh. Chill.
It should be.
It should be. This year was the hardest for me, and I was so stressed. I was like,
It was hard this year.
What's that?
Just the schoolwork.
Yeah, it's your junior year. Yeah, it sucks.
This year was a lot of
Just the combination of the classes.
Now just imagine that you have the workload of junior year for the rest of your life, and that's working.
It's great.
But
They should not.
then you pay.
I was band number.
Alright.
I was cowboy
I like that deal.
I'm working during the summer.
I should probably get a job, but first I should probably get my license. I've not seen it.
I still have to get my permit.
Yeah.
This summer I'm getting my permit.
Riley said that.
Paige, you have 2 months to get your license.
I know. We're just gonna hash it out. I'm gonna take the test and just wing it.
Paige, I wish I could take you
skirt.
parallel parking.
What?
I wish I could take you parallel parking.
Everybody hates parallel parking.
I practiced that for 2 months.
The person on my driver's test tried to get me to parallel park behind a car, but it had like all their leaf bags also next to it, and they were just. I'm like, I said, you know, that seems kind of weird, those leaf bags. How about I do a 3-point turn into a parallel park next to this car? Oh, all right then. I didn't know that you could
It's like
flip the
extra
test on its head
fancy.
like that, but all right. So don't think you gotta always do what they say. It's like when you get pulled over and you're all freaked out. Be honest. Sorry, officer, I was going way too fast. And they're like, oh, thank you for being honest. I'm going to give you a lesser ticket. And I'm like, well, thank you very much, officer. I don't want the points on my license. Cool.
My mom has this card that my uncle signed, so she can give it to an officer if she was pulled over.
Yeah.
Given that's happened a couple of times, but I'm like, there's gonna be one officer that doesn't care and he's gonna give you a ticket.
Yeah, that's okay though.
Yeah.
Our neighbor is a
It's a
state
thing, though.
trooper, so
It's like taking care of your own kind of thing. My cousin's a corrections officer, so he always gives us, like every year he gives us something. And they're like, oh, where's he work? And I go, Rikers. And everybody goes, oh my God.
Oh snap.
Yep. It's horrible.
Yeah.
All right, well, tell him good luck. All right. You too, because I'm about to speed out of here. I mean, drive under the speed limit. People. That's what I meant.
very seatbelt. Don't get arrested.
Yeah, don't get arrested. I mean,
I mean, if I never had my license, I think
My dad got me a car. Well, okay, so here's the he got me a car, but the thing is, when I get my license, I have to start paying. So like, I have a job, so like it'll work. So it's, I think it's like the monthly insurance. But like insurance is the one that's high.
it's making you pay for gas.
Well, yeah, gas is usually how it is, but I don't have a license yet, so I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
So.
Who's like the main person that you're driving with? Or will be with?
Probably my dad or Dom.
Oh.
I don't know which one it is. Oh,
Carol looks just like that. If I could, I would just drive with my legs.
yeah.
Like, I feel comfortable
We're all going to tell
with
them
her in the car. Go everywhere.
I mean, I'm always in the car with Dom, so I can make that.
Like, I would take it with her. My mom's okay. She just takes it. She's like, slow down, slow down. It's always the time.
Why do you think all of us
I'm gonna be honest. I've driven a golf cart once. My dad's girlfriend was in the car when I was driving, and like I was going to park, and she was like yelling at me, and like I snapped, and I was like, I know what I'm doing. I've driven this thing before. But
My mom's always like,
that's how Julie is, and I'm just like, I can do this. Just she won't even let me back out. Like I mean, if I'm gonna learn, you gotta show me how to do it. You know?
whenever I'm like in a parking lot, I'll like start turning it off, and
15 minutes before the stage starts.
He was born and Richard's mom wanted to be
I think I'm somewhere up in Maine, but I could be wrong. I don't think I am.
Or, oh, Hamilton's coming here in August, and my mom got me tickets, and I'm so excited. Yeah.
They're like, where are you?
I want to say somewhere. I don't know. Really?
Yeah. So at least I'll be able to hear it. Maybe not see it.
That
Yeah.
guy does a tango.
I'm on, because my mom, I hate it when my mother does this because I'm like sitting on the couch and then she looks at me with like this serious look as if I've done something wrong. And I'm like, what's the matter? And she's like, sit down. And I'm like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. And then she's like, I got you the Hamilton ticket. I was like, so what? But it counts as part of my Christmas gift, so I'm excited. And then I'm getting my listen teeth out on the 10th of July. I have 5. You're not supposed to have 5.
I was like,
Wow. I'm special.
at least you did them all out at the same time.
I'm scared, yeah.
Is your mom taking you?
My dad's taking it. No, my mom's taking it. My dad can't deal with blood, needles, or any of that.
I agree with that though.
I can't do needles either. So like when they say, okay, here's your IV, I'm gonna be like, say what? Get that needle.
She better take a video.
Yeah. I told my mom not. I don't want my mom to record. Like, 'cause I'm gonna say some awful stuff.
Our neighbor was
I don't want to say anything weird. I mean, it's not like you don't lose control completely, but like, I'm gonna see if I can get myself healthy. No, because I'm gonna be awake during the procedure. Because they're like, well, if we want to totally knock you out, we can put you in the hospital. But if not, I'm getting my wisdom teeth taken out.
Oh,
Yeah.
this
That's a
summer
concept.
I have 5.
you have extra wisdom.
Wisdom.
they need to be on the stage.
So you have 33 teeth, right?
Yeah.
32, most people, right?
Yeah. They thought I had 6, but no, I got 5.
All right.
Yup. More money down the drain.
Well, your flute sound will change because you'll have more resonating space.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
We'll find out.
Oh, great.
Vibrato.
I can vibrato.
So do it.
Well, not when
All
everyone's
the
playing.
time.
You want me to vibrato all the time?
Pretty much. Anything long.
I just remember we were talking about that when Emily Savona was in here. Then she just started singing.
Yeah.
Showing my brother.
Yeah.
I thought vibrato was only used during like solos.
No. You use it all the time. What it helps to do is to make the pitch spin, make the sound move. You know how sometimes as a group when we hit something, we hit a chord or we hold where it doesn't feel like it's going somewhere sometimes? That vibrato will help to spin it into the next thing. It's a nice way to do that.
I'm alone at vibrato. I'm like,
One of the flute players who will be a freshman next year does it naturally.
Allie or Chloe?
Chloe.
I think you told me that I did a vibrato.
You did. We gotta get more.
Chloe Buckton, she's short, she has bangs, not bobs.
She named her last year.
Yeah.
I remember.
I feel like if I see her, I might.
And Allie's got a really good sound. It's gonna be
Yeah, Alex and
nice additions, for what we're
5, right?
choosing.
And I got Walker, right? Walker's right.
yeah.
Hard worker. He's the Amanda Ruther of our group for next year. Super hard worker.
I like the male representation in the flute group. It's not just a girl's instrument.
The best flute player I have ever met was a guy who was a professor at Potsdam. Ken Andrews. And he was the most musical person I think I've ever met. He because he had the knowledge of all the old stuff, and then he also did contemporary music, 20th century, 21st century stuff. And he had just as much knowledge on that. It was amazing. And his flute was completely gold plated.
Wow.
The whole thing. But it changes the sound. It's very dark.
I'm gonna buy some like gold flute.
Rob a bank. Oh my god, that was Steph when she was in like 5th grade.
I played this thing earlier and I was like, why does it sound weird? And I was like, oh, because it's like 90 degrees in my bedroom.
Twitter?
I found it.
Twitter or YouTube?
YouTube.
We better not screw up now, guys.
Change of plan, guys. We're gonna be on YouTube.
Wait for me when we're done, okay?
Is there a live
I
chat?
don't know where I'm going.
Is there a live chat? I want to see. Look for me in the front. Oh, I'm I forgot.
It's like 8 people waiting.
What do you think? Is this a keeper? Is this a keeper for? We should print out this.
Definitely. That's a 10 out of 10 right there.
Because it both looks like I'm demonic, yet I have a halo, right?
When did you take that?
You have wait.
Oh, right
I
now.
just did that.
You have Snapchat.
Salmo. What do you think? We put this where that weird picture of me is now, right? What do you think? You don't like it?
I feel like it was
Welcome to band.
simultaneously dropping
Could be fun.
Only the brave of heart would come
To what? Oh yeah.
when they see it.
Well, that's what we got anyway. Concert band people are all like, he makes us do stuff. Ah. Yep.
Essays in band class?
Listen.
Hello. Hello and welcome to the 60-second commencement exercises of Schalmont High School. We'd ask, yeah, absolutely. We'd ask that everyone please stand for the presentation of the flag and the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Preston Page. Please remain standing for the national anthem, which will be sung by the seniors in the concert choir, conducted by Mr. Robert Renzi. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. And now for Preston.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Please stay standing.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Amanda Motika and Vanessa Wainwright. They will be the Masters of Ceremonies for the 62nd Schalmont High School commencement exercises. Amanda and Vanessa.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, faculty and staff, and graduating seniors, welcome to the 62nd annual commencement of Schalmont High School. It was 13 years ago we began our journey of learning many lessons inside and outside the classroom. It seems just like yesterday we were racing to the playground for recess after lunch, and here we are tonight, celebrating all of our hard work and dedication over the years that has prepared us for the next chapter of our lives. Throughout our collective years, we've worn our school colors with pride, volunteered in our communities, and tried new things that may have not necessarily been within our comfort zone. All of our experiences have shaped us into who we are today. I am proud to have shared these moments with you and will cherish these memories for years to come. Congratulations on all of your achievements thus far, and remember, when one door closes, another one always opens.
I would first like to thank my family, friends, and all my teachers for getting me to where I am today. Looking back on our time here, I know that I wouldn't change a single thing. I wish for one more day to relive all those Jefferson Field days, those cold Friday night football games, and maybe play one last game of Uno in Mr. Gibbs' room. Through all our hard work and effort over the years, we deserve to be where we are right now. We began high school as children, but we're leaving here as adults. Now it is time for us to learn what we want to be and follow all our dreams. whether that's going to college, enlisting in the military, or entering the workforce. So, on that note, parents, it's now time to open up your wallets, because college ain't cheap these days. The Schalmont Wind Ensemble, under the direction of Mr. Michael Christie, will now offer their rendition of Charm by Kevin Putz.
Thank you, Mr. Christie and members of Wind Ensemble. I would now like to invite Logan Walker, the class of 2019 Salutatorian, to the podium to present his address. Logan.
Thank you, Vanessa. From the start, it's as if you were dropped in a forest. Lost, confused, and eager to explore. Unknown places, unfamiliar faces, it's your new beginning. Everyone in this similar confusion, we all pick a direction and simply go. Far in the distance, nearly out of sight, definitely out of reach, you see a bright light, a finish line. Again, it's seemingly out of reach, but you start heading directly towards that finish line anyways. Upon walking down the forward stream, you soon realize this path is far from a straight line. Instead, you encounter turns and curves, progress and setbacks. You confront obstacles, you fall, you fail, you cry, but you learn and you grow. And as you grow, the forest grows with you. Still following this fateful yet fateless trail, you reach a fork in the road. After long and hard thought, you make a choice. But this forest is growing, always further confusing. Content with your first decision, you continue on with the journey. But soon you discover more and more forks in the road, more and more endless choices to be made, each with limitless possibilities. And every time you hope your choices lead you down the right path towards that seemingly impossible finish line. But surprise, there is no correct path, only more and more and more and more choices, overwhelming amounts of choices, but only ever a single chosen path. As you navigate through this twisting forest, the unknown becomes home. The unfamiliar faces you started this journey with, they become friends. The foreign noises become music, and the shadows have illuminated. However, you realize that everyone you started this journey with is nowhere to be found. Panicked, you only discover further forests within forests, further trees within trees, and no one to be found. However, everyone is all around you, simply on different paths that weave and intertwine together. As you travel along towards that bright finish line, friends come and go. You forge memories together and forever have your paths been interconnected, even if only for a solitary part of the forest. This forest is confusing. Everyone is lost, lost in the wood, lost in thought, but fortunately, there is that glowing finish line we are destined towards. Go, go, run and rush forward. But this is a forest of contradiction. It holds a finish line always within sight, always within possibility, but that bright light is increasingly distant, and your path forward always feels as if you're traveling further away. So, after many, many shifting years of decisions and struggles, laughter and tears, friends, but also regrets, you finally find yourself within reach of that glowing finish line. And as soon as you reach out to touch it, it disappears. The beacon was simply an illusion, a facade that never even existed in the first place. What happened? Nothing. Nothing at all. That's because there is a finish line to this forest. But the journey is so full of memories and adventure, why would you want it to end? However, we all know that finish line is inevitable. This is the forest we call life. We're all lost in the woods together, so we explore and we learn. We're placed into this confusion from the start, so build and grow. A river in your way, we learn to swim. an entire ocean to cross. Let's build a boat. You want to climb up that mountain? We're not stopping you. Yes, we will all make bad decisions. We will fail. Sometimes we will fall flat on our faces. But look upwards. Do you see those clouds? Because I do, and I know we're all going to touch them someday. This is the forest we call life. So go and explore, because one day you will cross that finish line. But understand that all of you have caused the forest to grow ever greater. Thank you.
Thank you, Logan. Mr. John DeCoco, President of the Schalmont Board of Education, would like to offer his congratulations to the class of 2019. Mr. DeCoco.
Good evening. I would like to begin by offering my congratulations to the Schalmont High School class of 2019. You go ahead. I tried to remember what was going through my mind as I sat waiting to walk across the stage back in 19-something or other. I remember looking at the program and counting how many speakers there were and wondering, as I'm guessing some of you might be right now, just how much life-changing advice one can digest in 60 minutes. Like it or not, you're going to get a lot of advice in the days and weeks ahead. A lot of it will begin with remember to or make sure, and my kid's overwhelming favorite, when I was your age, which to this day is met with an immediate eye roll and deep sigh. Tonight, each one of you will walk across this stage and into your adult lives. A lot has changed since I and your parents took that same walk. The technology we use to learn, live, and work, the political issues that consume us, the breakthroughs in science and progress on social issues that would have been thought impossible back then. I've given a lot of thought as to what I might say to you tonight, and over again I kept coming back to what I shared with the class of 2018, and that is, while so much has changed, what hasn't changed is the abundance of opportunity and optimism that we as Americans enjoy. It's easy to believe in our highly political climate, with constant news coverage of all things negative, that this country of ours, if not the whole world, is on the decline. That you'll never have it as good as your parents had it, never experience America as a land of opportunity. Having spent time in nearly 30 countries outside the U.S., I can say for sure that's not the case, and that we still have something very special here. When in other countries, time and time again, my hosts would speak of the challenges their children would face, the distances they would have to go to find work, the barriers they faced in trying to get ahead. Whatever the subject, jobs, the economy, wages, healthcare, education, not once did I ever feel my family might be better off somewhere other than where we all sit tonight. So, don't get mired in the negative. You have instant access to just about any information you want. Be wary of the information you consume. Reach your own conclusions and views. Experience this country and the world for yourselves, not as it's presented to you in sound bites, headlines, tweets, and editorials. This is truly an amazing time for all you graduates. By the end of today, as you're wrapping up whatever you might have planned this evening, 130,000 people have risen out of poverty, and that's happened every day since 1990. We're living better and we're living longer. Medical advancements have made it so that we're living twice as long as we would have just 100 years ago. Literacy, technology, political freedom, they're all on the rise. The things you hear about in the news seemingly nonstop, ecological disasters, violent crime, poverty, those have actually declined in the past decades. My point is this: you sit here today in what I believe is still the greatest place for any graduate to be. You've graduated from a great school and a great community in the greatest country in the world. Life is good. Leave here tonight thankful, optimistic, ready to take advantage of the opportunities that lie before you, and ready to give back in some way to help make your community and our country an even better place for those who will take your seats next year. Congratulations again to the class of 2019, and congratulations to the parents, faculty, and staff who helped make their achievement possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. DeCoco. Dr. Carol Pallas, Superintendent of Schools, will now offer her congratulations to the class of 2019.
Board President, Mr. DeCoco, Vice President, Mr. Pasquarella, members of the Board of Education, Principal, Mr. Abbasi, Assistant Principal, Mrs. Martin, teachers, staff members, honored guests, parents, and the students of the class of 2019. It is with great honor and privilege that I address you today as you prepare to become graduates of Schalmont High School. It is also my pleasure to welcome parents, families, friends, and faculty to graduation at Schalmont. Every one of you have made an impact on the graduates who sit here today. I want to begin by congratulating you, the class of 2019. The ending of high school is the beginning of your launch into your adult life. As the song Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield says, today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten. As you leave the confines of high school campus and go out into the larger world, one of the greatest things you'll gain is perspective, a true sense for what is really important and what isn't. In this time of transformation, when the world starts expecting more adult and less kid, you will begin to place your focus on moving forward toward your goals and becoming the person you want to be and be known for. Remember, it's a small world and a long life, and the deeper you go into continuing your education or starting your career, the more you will appreciate that it isn't just your recent history that matters, but the full body of your life's work that will determine your opportunities and your ability to most effectively pursue those opportunities. To paraphrase former U.S. Secretary of State Madeleine Albright, you will have to rely on what's known as your inner compass. And whether that compass is true will determine whether you become a drifter who is blown about by every breeze, or a doer, an active citizen determined to chart your own course, question your assumptions, and when necessary, sail unafraid against strong winds. In our world today, the concept of love thy neighbor has reemerged to counteract the increase of hate in the world. There are too many people in the world who are quick to react without knowing all the facts, immediately turn to social media, their lawyers, or even worse, to violence. It is said that civility costs nothing and buys everything. Spend it generously. Be the class that brings back polite, meaningful discussion. Be the class that understands that you can still be courteous to those you disagree with. Be the class that knows that listening is the greater communications tool than talking, or yelling, or posting, or hitting send. Recognize that the only way progress is made in this world is to, as Stephen Covey said, first seek to understand and then to be understood. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau once said, in every generation, leaders emerge because they one day awake to the realization that it's not up to someone else to fix this problem or to take up that cause. Take action. Lead. Brad Whitford tells us that every story you've ever connected with, every leader you've ever admired, and every puny little thing that you've done or ever accomplished is the result of taking action. You have choice. You can be a passive victim of circumstance, or you can be an active hero of your own life. So now is the time for you to lead. Go out there, treat each other with respect, and make it a better place. As you spend today in celebration, I hope you take a moment to reflect so you never forget the support of those you surround yourself by, your parents, your family members, your friends, your peers, teachers, and mentors. As you move forward into your new lives, take time to make new friends and build relationships with others, but at the same time, keep close the friends you have already made, especially the ones who have a special place in your heart or have always had your back. Remember the teachers who pushed you harder than sometimes you wanted to be pushed, and your family who loved and supported you every step of the way. In conclusion, students of the class of 2019, I remind you that today is a day for celebration and reflection. Let your heart fill with the love and joy of the family and friends who surround you now, but be sure to take time to reflect on the accomplishments, achievements, and opportunities that have made up your time here in Schalmont. As you leave us today and go off into your future, I will share with you my wishes that I have shared with the classes before you. I wish you faith to leap into the world ahead. I wish you passion to challenge injustice. I wish you confidence to embrace your strengths. I wish you humility to admit your failings. I wish you wisdom to value all you have been taught. I wish you awareness so that you know your own self-worth. And I wish you the clarity to know that you have the right and the obligation to go out there and be the very best you can be. Don't sit around and wait for someone to anoint you ready for the next challenge. Don't wait your turn. Bet on yourself and have the confidence to stand up and say, my time is now. In the movie, The Greatest Showman, the characters dream of a beautiful world where dreams are put to the test of becoming reality, where being who you are along with hard work and willpower can help you achieve anything. The film shows us that in life, one has to take risks, face criticism, and make mistakes along the way. The film shows us mostly, however, that only you can make the most out of your life. The main theme is supported by the song A Million Dreams, which has lyrics that I hope you and all graduates are thinking of today. The refrain goes like this: "'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make." Congratulations to you, class of 2019. We are all counting on you for the world you are going to make, lives that will inspire the next generation and are worthy of retelling. My fondest best wishes go with you, one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pallas. Class President Jenna Davidson will now offer her message to the class of 2019. Jenna?
Thank you, Amanda. All right, hello, everyone. I tried to make this speech short and sweet because, trust me, I have 3 older siblings. I've been in the audience. I know your pain. But here it goes. 13 years ago, we were awake earlier than we wanted to be, dressed in clothes that we didn't want to wear, walking into a place we didn't want to be, leaving behind everything we knew and everyone we loved. On that day, 13 years ago, we started kindergarten. They told us to sit behind a desk and to not break anything. If you asked us what we wanted to be, we would say things like an astronaut, a cowboy, or in my case, a princess. We cried and struggled, we laughed and learned. We grew. We moved on to elementary school where they prepared us for middle school, telling us that it will be much harder. We became friends and we began to care for each other. We continued to grow. We finally made it to middle school. We walked in with our heads held high, proud to be a big kid, thinking we knew everything, but quickly realized we didn't. We were awkward and uncomfortable. We began to get to know each other as more than just classmates. We laughed, we learned, we grew. Well, most of us. I'm still 4'10" if you were wondering. But then we walked into high school with our own new identities, thoughts, ideas, and opinions. We began to love. We learned that we are not the same. We learned how to be strong, how to help, how to fall, and most importantly, how to get back up. That's what brought us all here today. Teachers and administrators, TAs and staff have all done their part to help prepare us, told us to work hard because it's going to be harder in the real world. I asked my mom what it's like in the real world. She told me that she sits behind a desk and tries not to break anything. We've spent 75% of our lives together. We've seen the same things, met the same people, taken the same tests, and walked the same halls. Now here we are. The moment we've been waiting for. The moment we walk across the stage and get our diplomas. Together, we're all moving forward with our own conscious decisions, whether they're good or bad. Now, before I hand off the mic and celebrate our accomplishments, I want to leave you with one last thing that I've begun to live my life by day after day, and that is the act of living in the now. According to the Webster's Dictionary, the meaning of now is at the present time or moment. We all probably think we know what that means, but do we really? In our society, I feel as though no one is living in the now. All of our heads are focused elsewhere. Some of us are too focused on work, too focused on school, or social media. Maybe for you it's on an even larger scale, like focusing on the past or the future. I can say with confidence that just about every one of us have been waiting for this moment, wishing away the moments, begging to leave this hometown, the moment you walk across the stage and get the high school diploma you've been waiting for. But did you ever once stop to take a breath and think about all the moments that brought you to this very one? Throughout my life, I had trouble with the now perspective of things. But enough about me, it's time for all of us to realize. Try this with me. Take a minute and clear your mind. Be here, now, and really listen. This is your life, so do whatever makes you happiest. Change the things you can and let go of the things you can't. If there's something that you want, don't be afraid to go after it. If you have a dream, follow it. Do not let fear ever hold you back from your accomplishments. Trust your instincts and never stop believing in yourself. You are capable of more than you think you are. When people tell you that you can't, show them that you can. There will be times that you fall, but remember you will stand again. Protect your heart, but realize when you need to let it go. Learn from your mistakes, don't dwell on them. Be confident in who you are, keep your head held high because you are amazing. Travel to places you have never been, eat good food and meet new people. Experience all the highs and all the lows of the world. Enjoy the little things, they're always more impactful. Don't be afraid to express how you truly feel and never settle. Cry hard, but laugh even harder, and when you love, love with everything you got. Find your passion. You can be whoever you want to be. There are no set rules, there is only now. This is your now, this is your time, this is your life. You only have one, so make it count. To the class of 2019, enjoy the journey. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenna. Student Council President Preston Page will now offer his thoughts to the class of 2019. Preston?
Thank you, Vanessa. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, mothers and fathers, aunts and uncles, grandparents, school administration, friends, and family. I seriously cannot believe I am up here giving my speech for my high school graduation right now. It feels like just yesterday I was walking through the high school doors for the first time. But class of 2019, I'm here to tell you, we made it. It has not been an easy ride. We were the first class in the middle school as fifth graders. We were the first class with Chromebooks. And now, this is the first time someone has rapped their graduation speech. Mr. Abbasi, drop the beat.
Let's go.
Just kidding. Everybody in this room just thought I was crazy, though. In high school, we were taught some very important lessons. Most importantly, we were taught to learn from our mistakes. For example, I remember having to make cultural food for Spanish. We were all supposed to bring in specific foods from a different Spanish-speaking country. Well, I happened to pick coconut balls, also known as bolas de coco. Well, you see, I've never really baked cookies before. So I made my little coconut balls, stuck them in the oven, heated it up, the whole shebang, sitting there all proud of myself. What could possibly go wrong at this point? Well, they started cooking, and they started getting a little brown on the one side, but weren't really cooking on the other side. So logically, you flip pancakes when they start to get cooked on one side, so why not flip cookies? Well, here's why. If you flip cookies, they don't just burn on one side, they burn on both sides. So what I ended up with was not at all bolas de coco, more like bolas de black, because these things were burnt to a crisp. So, of course, I ran for the butter knife, and I just started chopping those things, trying to get the burn off until I was practically serving coconut crumbs. But hey, at least I didn't burn the house down. There's still something to be proud of, Mom and Dad. But look, mistake, cookies flipped. Lesson learned, don't flip cookies. It all works itself out. And guess what? We don't even need to know how to bake cookies for college. We're all just going to be living off ramen anyway. Unless you're going to be a chef, then that means you learned something today. You're welcome. The moral of the story is, while it's scary to send us out on our own, realize the tools you have given us to thrive. And while sometimes we might flip over and get a little burnt, perhaps on both sides, we need to use those experiences so that we can learn to scrape it off and try again. This time, hopefully with a better result. Or, you can just learn not to flip cookies, but that's besides the point. I want everyone to look forward. Look ahead at the young adults sitting in front of you. The young adults in the seats and on this very stage. Think of what they have accomplished so that they could be sitting here today. And seriously, parents, guardians, teachers, friends, give yourselves a pat on the back. I really think I can say, from all of us, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for all you've done for us. We really couldn't do it without you. But hey, don't be sad. Think of all the fun stuff you can do without us, like not chase us down lunchbox in hand as the school bus carries us away. In the end, we're always going to have you, our friends, family, and teachers by our sides, like you always have been. These last 13 years, you've prepared us so well, from the moment you first put on our backpacks and sent us off on that big yellow bus, to the moment we celebrated our 8th grade graduation, and through all 4 difficult, fun, hormone-filled years of high school. Nonetheless, mistakes will still happen, and because of what you have taught us, we won't ever let them stop us from achieving our dreams. In the words of Mary Tyler Moore, take chances, make mistakes. That's how you grow. Pain nourishes your courage. You have to fail in order to practice being brave. Thank you.
Thank you, Preston. I would now like to invite Natalie Stagnetti, the class of 2019's Valedictorian, to the podium to present the traditional Valedictorian address. Natalie?
Thank you, Amanda. Throughout our lives here at Schalmont, we have known most of what was ahead of us. When we were 5 years old, we knew that we would start kindergarten and continue through elementary school. We knew that middle school would be different in a totally new building with some new classmates and changing classes. And going into high school, we knew that we would have 4 years left at Schalmont with the people that we grew up with. All of this is planned for us, and all we had to do was show up, even if towards the end, the only reason we did show up was because of Mr. Gibbs' attendance policy. With all that behind us, now is when we start making the decisions for ourselves. We are becoming adults, managing our own money, living away from home, and voting. We have decided whether to work, serve in the military, or go to college. Our lives are now in our own hands. Hopefully, high school has helped us discover a lot about ourselves, which can guide us in the right direction. But as we move on and make these choices, there is so much that we don't know. The amount of unknowns is both scary and exciting as we begin to fully direct our lives. While we may think that the important decisions right now consist of what college to pick, where to live, or what we do with the rest of our lives, there are so many little choices that matter just as much. It may not seem like a big deal when we choose how we respond to situations, but our reactions and attitudes can set us on several different paths. Everyone chooses these things differently based on their past experiences, personalities, and outlooks on life. As the uniqueness that comes with these differences is valuable, everyone could benefit from adding a little positivity. Life is filled with ups and downs, and throughout all of it, positivity is a choice. Every day we wake up with the opportunity to find the good in each situation. I always think about how I would never be able to fully appreciate all of the good times in my life without the bad experiences. Yes, it's easy to mope around and complain about having 6 tests in 1 week or the terrible breakup you may have gone through, but does that really help the situation at all? Think about how much happier we could be if we stepped back from looking just at the immediate afflictions and looked to see the whole picture. Maybe we would see something we were missing. It's like when you're getting ready in the morning and can't stop fixating on that pimple that's been there for a whole week, but really, if you step back, you'd realize that you're having a pretty good hair day. There are so many positives and good things in everything, we just need to allow ourselves to find them. Also, when looking back, we often find ourselves wondering, what if? But what good does that really do? Since we can't change anything that's already happened, the only productive thing we can do with the past is take the positive lessons and details and learn from them. Sure, we may have acted unprofessionally or things may not have gone as planned, but the mistakes and mess-ups tell us a lot about how we can become better people and handle future situations better. Instead of getting upset about past events and trying to forget the cringeworthy moments, we can easily use them to learn and grow. One summer, I went to the Adirondack Extreme Adventure course with my family. Now, one of the first things they tell you before you start is when you get to the zip line parts, whatever you do, don't grab the zip line cable. So naturally, right in the beginning of the course, I started to twist as I rode on the zip line and instinctively reached up and grabbed the cable to straighten myself out. My hand got caught up in the cable and really cut up. After rinsing it out and my mom telling me that it wasn't that bad, later she told me that yes, it was that bad, I got back up and finished the course. Now, my reaction to this situation could have gone two different ways. I could have taken one look at my bleeding hand and sat on the bench for the rest of the day. Instead, I chose to stay positive and get through the rest of the course, climbing, jumping, and not grabbing the cable on the zip line. Despite the fact that my hand was really bloody, I made some really fun memories that day. Since then, I've chosen to look at the overall positive experience and continue to have fun in similar situations. Every little thing we do impacts our lives, particularly how we choose to react to situations. The choice to be positive can go a long way, especially when we don't know exactly what will happen next. We can't be sure what events we will encounter down the line, but what we do know is that how we react to these situations is fully in our hands. So as you move forward, keep your wits about you. Seek out what makes you smile. Don't grab the cable on the zip line. And most importantly, remember to find positivity in everything you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. Isabella Amoroso and Gabrielle Baker will now present the class gift. Isabella and Gabby.
First, I would like to say thank you and hello to all the family, friends, administrators, and faculty here tonight, and congratulations to our fellow classmates. In recent years, graduating classes have donated a variety of items, such as a cafe sign, filtering water fountains, and scholarships for future classes. Our time at Schalmont was unique from other classes. We were the test dummies when we were sent into the middle school in 5th grade, and we were the first class to own Chromebooks and experiment with the new technology provided to us. Because our time at Schalmont was so unique, it was important for our gift to match. The class of 2019 hopes our gift will provide students and staff with something useful.
Throughout the past 4 years, we have been referred to as the class that fundraised the most and had the most money. We didn't raise this just to pay for prom and other activities, but also to give our school something that we really need, like working hand dryers. This year, for our senior gift, the class of 2019 is giving the school a set of Dyson hand dryers. These dryers will not only replace the slow broken ones that takes a whole period to dry your hands, but also the paper towels that keep getting taken away. It is an environmentally safe alternative to what we have now that will help in making our school cleaner and safer. It is something we want to leave for the underclassmen and the incoming classes to enjoy for many years to come, as well as a way to express our gratitude and appreciation for everything the school has done for the last 4 years. We hope that all the grades behind us can use these gifts and keep our bathrooms clean. Our class will also be donating funds for scholarships to support the underclassmen in the future. Thank you again for coming. Congratulations to our fellow classmates on getting to this milestone. We hope that wherever your future takes you, you remember Schalmont as being the stepping stone to your goals and that nothing is impossible. Class of 2019, thank you.
Now for what you came for. Will the class of 2019 please stand? Dr. Pallas, I present to you the class of 2019 of Schalmont High School. I certify to you in the presence of this audience that these students have successfully completed the prescribed courses of study for their high school diploma as outlined by the New York State Board of Regents and the Schalmont Board of Education.
Mr. DeCoco, Mr. Abbasi, our principal, has certified to me that the students assembled before us have successfully completed the prescribed courses of study. Now, under the authority vested in me by the Commissioner of Education and the statutes of the State of New York, I confirm these students for graduation. You may now begin awarding the diplomas.
Mr. Chase Campbell and Mr. Stephen Gibbs, class of 2019 co-advisors, will call roll of the successful candidates for graduation in order that their diplomas may be conferred individually. It is my honor to ask Mr. Chase Campbell and Mr. Stephen Gibbs to please call the roll of the valedictorian, salutatorian, top 10%, class officers, and students so they may receive their diplomas. Mr. DeCoco and Dr. Pallas, would be honored if you'd present the candidates for graduation their diploma and offer individual congratulations. Please join us at the podium.
Schalmont High School is pleased to announce our valedictorian, Natalie Stegnity. Schalmont High School is pleased to announce our salutatorian, Logan Walker. We are pleased to introduce to you our top 10%, Nicholas Boyd, Jordan Bush, John Michael Dierstein, Casey Dillenbeck, Wade Funk, Student Council Vice President Luke Handerhan, Michaela Lynch, Elizabeth McNeil, Kevin Malone, Haley Meshkan, Class Historian Amanda Motika, Kylie Noga, Student Council President Preston Page, Emily Quick, Anthony Ruhan, Luca Santa Barbara, Catherine Shattuck. Introducing our class officers, President Jenna Davidson, Vice President Lindrell Randall II, Secretary Gabriel Baker. Gabrielle. Treasurer Isabella Amoroso. Student Council Representative Vanessa Wainwright. I now present to you Callum Abenda, Gideon Adakwa, Lorenzo Amador, Marissa Angerami, Ana Susana Aragosa, Marissa Marie Aubrey, Jared Behor, Andrew Beck, Antonio Beltran, Francisco Beltran, Gianna Benedetto, Jaina Boswell. Olivia Borst. Caleb Brooks. Rihanna Buskey. Logan Butterfield. Caitlin Bouzas. Joseph Dean Carnavella. Julie Ann Kaza. Julia Sembrenowitz. Gabriel Simon Comenzo. Cole Cookingham. James Cranker. Devin Curtin. Vincent DeLucia. Kaylin Janelle DeCoco. Alexander James Diedrich. Audria Din. Noah Dolzar. Diana Lucia Donis. Ryan Joseph Donnelly. Randy Dworka. Hunter Fallett. Michael Anthony Farina, Jr. Janina Farrager. Gabriela Echo Fernandez. Luke Anthony Ferraro. Josh Fuellner. Emily Frank. Nicholas Fredenberg. Angelina Gauthier. Gianna Genter. Jenna Giambetti. Taylor Godlewski. Darnell Green. Zamaria Kea Marie Greenwood. Destiny Teresa Hansen. Kaylee Harrington. Jeffrey Heller. Chloe Hopkins. Matthew Hordell. Peyton Hosner. Madison Hurley. Taya Hearn. Michael Jacobs. Karen Lynn Kierson. Shaylin Kelleher. Andrew David Kessler. Daniel Thomas Kessler. Ryan Knight. Brandon Kress. Haley Beth Lamori. Jessica Lappin. Matthew Patrick LaGuire. Tess Leiby. Kiara Leonard. David Matthew List. Christopher Luizzi. Talia McLeod. Heather McCarta. Julia Melanowski. Kyle Mancino. Haley Markle. Roxana Martinez. Ben Mason. Nathaniel Masick. Lennon Matarazzo. Sean McDuffie. Muhammad Hunain Memon. Nicholas Edward Mesley. Eden Messimer. Alessia Jean Colette Michelizzi. Hunter Jordan Miller. Mariah Monty. Shelby Nardini. Matthew John Narski. Xavier Ortega. Emily Paul. Jessica Paleshi. Amanda Palmer. Alyssa Papa. Alyssa Pape. Lucas Gerard Parisi. Amanda Marie Pino. Mia Riley Perron. Benjamin Pearson. Nicole Pizzas. Skylar Pudva. Alexis Marie Quivy. Jared Rash. Reagan Elizabeth Reynolds. Olivia Riggy. Mia Catherine Rockenstein. Michaela Marie Romanowski. Derek Rosa. Amanda Joyce Ruther. Renee Sembetz. Jaden Samuels. Cecilia Romina Santucion. Dominic Anthony Scalise. Abigail Elizabeth Schaefer. Caitlin Siegschlag. Samuel James Skinner. Christopher Smith. Jared Smith. Morgan Sportman. Donald Mark Squires, Jr. Kaylee Squires. Gannon Struby. James Stuckey. Brianna Thomas. Cole Tillmont. Robert Tortorici. Patrick Anthony Tremonte. Mackenzie Tripp. Erin Ann Tuttle. Nicola Angelo Vaccaro. Stephanie Kathleen Van Alstyne. Nicholas Vandenberg. Albert Allen Voss III. Jack Wilkie. And Jacob Wilson.
Okay. Luke Handerhan. Okay. Luke Handerhan and LJ Randall will now lead us in the switching of the tassels. Luke and LJ, please come to the podium.
Thank you, Amanda. Good evening, everyone. Before we can walk you through this last part of the ceremony, we would like to say thank you to all of our great teachers, supportive parents, and anyone else who have helped us get to this point in our lives. We would also like to congratulate our fellow classmates that are here with us today, achieving this milestone. It brings us great joy to walk everyone through the switching of the tassels from the right side to the left side of our caps. As we get ready to embark on this new chapter of our life into the real world, we should take this time to reflect on all our memories we have created at Schalmont. Like President Gabby said, it was our class who were the first fifth graders to enter the middle school. It was our class who were the first freshmen to have Chromebooks. Our class has been the first to do many things, but now we are graduating, and this is the last thing we would do together. Now we look to our future.
The switching of the tassels represents our transition into the next chapter of our lives. The tassels resting on the right symbolizes the past. All the work we've put in to get to this point resides there. Every test, from F to A, every line missed or note hit, every ball dropped or caught, all the stress and each sigh of relief. It embodies both those excited Friday afternoons and dreaded Monday mornings, as well as everything in between. It represents our time as a member of the Schalmont student body. Switching our tassels to the left represents our future and what is yet to come. It will be daunting, but wherever we all end up, whether it be the workforce, higher education, the military, or your parents' basement, Though we may not be together, each of these memories and tiny moments will live on in all of us. The time has now come for all of our hard work to pay off. So now, if you would all join us in the switching of our tassels. Take your right hand, grab the tassel, and switch it to the left.
Congratulations, class of 2019.
At this time, senior members of the chorus and concerts choir will sing a salute to the class of 2019. This will be followed by our alma mater. We would ask that the graduates please rise and remain standing for all musical selections. During the alma mater, we ask that everyone please stand. So if we could have the chorus and concert choir seniors join us.
I love this little complimentary book that we got. Yeah, I know.
Put Janina in the middle. No, I'm not here. You're not? No. I don't know the words.
Often dreamed of a far I can go the distance till I find my heroes welcome waiting in your arms. In your arms. We are dedicated to our Schalmont High. We sing praises loud and clear so that all can hear. We'll bring fame to her name. We'll bring victory. With God's help, we'll show her faith and loyalty. Schalmont, we will uphold you. To you we will be true. To you we will bring glory in everything we do. Green and white forever, may they always be. Colors will be proud to bear, colors of unity. We will all defend you throughout all our days. Schalmont High, we love you. Hear our song of praise.
Thank you very much to the seniors of the choir and concert choir. As a principal, kind of like when you have kids, you're not supposed to have favorites, but this group has been a favorite. So, they have been the most resilient, they're getting in their seats so I can talk about them. Resilient, optimistic, hardworking group that we've had in my time here. So I just want to thank them personally. So, with that, congratulations to our class of 2019. This concludes our 60-second commencement exercise, and I would ask that the audience please remain seated and stay in your seats until the graduates have made their way out to the theater. Graduates will exit across the stage and through the rear of Proctor's Theater out into Stratton Plaza. We will play the recessional, and the students will dismiss out back, and then parents can join us. Again, thank you all very much, friends, family, staff, and students, and especially the class of 2019. Congratulations.